Let's see, so, the first line. If you've ever tried to get off of a crowded city bus, you know how difficult it is. And I grew up in a small town in upstate New York, but lived in a few different cities and developed my own method for getting off of crowded public transportation, where I say, excuse me, and try and be polite and get out the door, and it typically worked. But when I moved to San Francisco for a job about a while ago, I don't live there anymore, but I learned a new way. I'd gone out to an art event with a friend, which ended pretty late, and we were taking the night bus back. And the bus was supposed to arrive at like 12:15, and we're waiting, it doesn't come, and my friend says, why don't we just take a cab? And I was like, well, we can't do that, that's antithetical to my entire way of being, so we need to wait for the bus. So we waited, another 15 minutes goes by, another 20 minutes goes by, and she's getting pretty impatient, but finally we see the bus in the distance, and it's coming our way. And it's one of these buses with the accordion in the middle, and so it's extra long. And we get on the bus and grab a seat pretty close to the front, and it's pretty empty at this time, and the bus is going along, people start getting on, and the buses in San Francisco, I believe they're part are all electric, so they have these sort of metal rods that attach to wires in the street, and the bus driver's going, and the metal rods fall off of the wires, and he pushes this button, and it goes beep, 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 and it reattaches to the top, and the bus keeps going. And meanwhile, I'm getting pretty tired because it's late, and I'm feeling like my eyes are closing, and I'm really hoping that I don't fall asleep because I don't know the city that well yet. I don't want to get off at the wrong stop, or I don't want to fall asleep and end up somewhere way down the line. So the bus keeps going, people keep getting on the bus. It's by now pretty crowded, and the wires fall off again from their track, and everyone on the bus is like, oh, not again. And the bus driver presses his button, and it goes beep, 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 it reattaches, the bus keeps going, more people get on, but now it's packed. It's like you can't move because the bus was running late, so there's extra people on it. And I'm sitting near the front really hoping that I don't fall asleep because I don't want to wake up somewhere where I don't know where I'm going to end up and not know how to get home and not take a cab because that's not a thing that I do. At least it wasn't then. And the bus makes a few turns and it's going down this busy street. Looks vaguely familiar, but I'm not totally sure. And it falls off of the cables again. And everyone on the bus goes, oh, I can't believe it. And the bus driver hits the button, he goes beep, 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 and nothing happens. And he hits it again, he goes beep, 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 and nothing happens. And so he gets out, the bus driver goes, oh, okay. He grabs this long pole, and he gets out, and he goes to the back of the bus, and he's trying to reattach it manually. And everyone on the bus is like, it's 1 a.m. by now, we're tired, we want to get off, and no one's really happy about this. And all of a sudden, there's this commotion I hear from the back of the bus, and this man stands up, salt and pepper beard, pot belly, giant shirt, and he goes, I got diarrhea! And he's in the last seat in the bus, and he starts pushing through, and it's parting like the Red Sea, and I'm like, all this very thankful that I'm like, not the aisle side, so his diarrhea butt doesn't get anywhere close to me, and he's pushing through the aisle verbatim, I got diarrhea, it's splattering my cheeks, I got diarrhea. And I'm, like everyone on the bus, like mortified and looking at this person. And by the time he gets to the front of the bus, I'm looking at him like in shock, and I see that he's kind of laughing, and it occurs to me that he doesn't have diarrhea, he just wants to get off of the bus. And I look around, I think I'm pretty close to home, and this bus driver is still trying to attach the bus rails to the top of the cables, whatever they call them. And, I got off the bus quietly, said excuse me, but I knew that if I ever needed to get off from the back of the bus, I knew just what to do.